What's your favorite biome? What about your favorite cave biome? Oh wait, there are none. At least, not yet. Minecraft 1.17 is shaping up to be one of the biggest updates we've seen yet, possibly being centered around the long-awaited cave update. That being said, welcome back to A Week in the Caves, where each video of this week is dedicated to taking a closer look at Minecraft 1.17 if it were to be a cave update. My name is System Z, and today we're looking at biomes to overhaul the caves of the overworld in a way you've never seen before. Hey you, yes you watching the video. Did you know that you can subscribe and click the bell to be notified whenever I upload a video? If you end up enjoying this video, consider subscribing and helping me reach 500,000 subscribers. Hello and welcome back, my friends, to A Week in the Caves. As mentioned before, we're taking a closer look at new biomes that could overhaul the caves of the overworld in a cave update. Not only to match the biomes above ground, but also new biomes entirely, bringing new blocks, new ores, and much more along with them. So, without further ado, let's jump in. Hello and welcome everybody to the first cave that could be introduced in a update all about caves. This, my friends, is the Infested Cavern, which is exactly as it sounds. As you can see here, we have got a very basic cave that essentially takes the very essence of a mob dungeon, goes plus ultra, and basically makes it an overgrown cave. As you can see, we've got all sorts of infested cobwebs, we've got moss hanging down from the ceiling, stalactites, all sorts of different decorations. Now this is a very base level example of how caves in their current form could be updated. As you can see, this is kind of more of a structure, having 3 different spawners, which is a little different. You know, it's a little OP if you ask me. But on top of that, of course, we've also got chests. Now, this is probably the most basic example that we will see in today's video of how caves could be updated, because honestly, we could make it even better. But I do like this idea because honestly, it's a bit of a challenge. Imagine finding something like this in the caves. You've got stone tools or iron tools. It's going to be a pretty difficult challenge and a good opportunity to find some decent loot. But that being said, let's go ahead and check out some of the even cooler ideas and get to the real stuff. Like perhaps the Crystal Caverns. This is probably one of the most beautiful looking biomes that we could ever find in Minecraft. And to give you an idea of where exactly you would find this, imagine in the cave systems below a coral reef, a generally rare biome in the above ground surface, this would be a crystal cavern that would be exclusive to that biome, at least in the underground portion. I love this concept because honestly, crystals are a very beautiful form of coral basically in caves. And I think that it brings a lot of vibrancy and colors to the game that we don't currently have in the caves below. Now these actually have a really cool function. Essentially, if you mine them with Silk Touch, they actually drop as a crystal block, which you can actually use to control lighting. Yes, you heard that correctly. Control lighting. Essentially, the more crystals you have in an area, the brighter it will be. I love this concept. And this is actually from my good friend Endergy, who you all know as the asset designer for this channel. He essentially came up with this concept a while back, and I love it. I think it's awesome, and I really like the idea that it's also somewhat of a geode hotspot. As you can see, we've got diamonds and emeralds, we've got iron, and you can hear the shimmers of the crystals. I love it very much. We've got gold. Basically, every general ore in the overworld you would find in this sort of rare underground biome. So that, my friends, is why I would love the Crystal Caverns. It is such a good idea. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. And of course, from there, we have an entirely new underground biome. Because simply put, I don't think that the caves simply need to replicate the biomes of the overworld. Caves should definitely have exclusive biomes to make them a little bit more different and make it enjoyable. Make it so that you want to go underground just to find blocks to build with. And in this case, you can see here, we've got a new biome known as a Slate Formation, specifically slate and marble. As you can see here, we've got slate all over the walls, and it is a really, really nice looking material. Along with that, we've of course got marble. Now, these two blocks would definitely come in handy for building, and I'll explain why here momentarily. You've also got a new ore type known as onyx, and perhaps this could be the equivalent to steel or silver, a brand new ore in the progressional chain. Now, the only problem with that is, as we've talked about before on this channel, it's very hard to introduce new ores that aren't on the very end, like netherite, for example, because simply put, a lot of people just go straight for iron and then diamond. So how do you think onyx could work? Could it be useful in other ways? Maybe it's a necessity for using specific tools or having certain abilities. But that being said, slate is actually really cool because using slate, you can actually craft it into dyeable slate bricks. Now, I don't really have to talk about how amazing that is because, I mean, come on, it's just amazing. And then, of course, marble could be used to create all sorts of really, really cool looking blocks. As a builder, I would love this. It would give me a reason to go in the caves just to get building blocks. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. And of course, before we continue, much of the rest of this video is going to be something, if you've been watching for a while, that you have already seen. I did a video called What If Minecraft Had a Cave Update, where essentially I very much condensed the idea of a cave update into one video, and we briefly saw these biomes that you'll see next in that one. So I really recommend you check it out if you haven't already by clicking the iCard in the top right corner. But this, my friends, is an example of how we can bring the biomes above down below. This is a jungle cavern, which, as you guessed it, would be exclusively found in jungle biomes, or at least in the underground jungle biomes. Now, as you can see, it features basically everything you would generally find in a jungle, from leaves to bamboo, and even a new form of moss. This particularly is an improved vine that I would love to see in the game alone. I mean, in caves, this would be amazing. Plus, it could drop a moss item, which perhaps you could actually use to mossify in any block in Minecraft, which would be awesome. And then, of course, we've also got a new ore. I have talked about it before, but we need new ores in the game. It doesn't necessarily mean we need some sort of jungle tool set, but more or less, perhaps this could be used to do a specific task or for even a new type of magic or charm item, because that would be amazing. Imagine new totems and being able to craft them using ores like this. It would be awesome. But honestly, this just makes the jungle experience even better, let alone the cave experience, because simply put, you're not going to experience the same thing being surrounded by stone. It's something different because of the biome you're in, and it gets even better than this, because you could introduce something like an ice cavern, which, as you guessed, would be found in very, very cold biomes. But the difference here is that in order to even be in this biome, you would need a very special tool set or armor set, or even a potion that keeps you from freezing. Because simply put, if you came down here without them, you would start to take damage because of how cold it actually is. Not to mention, it would actually have marble and, of course, coldstone, but also a new type of ore, perhaps sapphire. The possibilities are really endless here. You can see that just bringing the biomes from above down below, along with new exclusive cave biomes, would just be amazing. It would overhaul caves in a very easy way that honestly should have been done in the very beginning. I think this is a lot better than just seeing the same stone, andesite, granite, diorite, and gravel down below. Plus, it gives us ways to find new ores depending on the biome we're in. But again, it gets even cooler than that. And that, of course, is, last but certainly not least, the poisonous mushrooms, which definitely is a biome you've seen before, but the reason I wanted to include it is because it is a great example at how even biomes above ground can be interesting in the caves and different on their own. This is a biome that would only be found underneath a mushroom island, which is going to be incredibly rare. I mean, you can imagine just how hard it would be to find a mushroom island, let alone a cave system underneath. Now, as you can see here, it is infested by poisonous mushrooms, which actually do give you poison, as you can see here. Now, this is one example of many where the environment itself could be a new factor to look out for. Instead of just mobs, perhaps you don't want to get too close to these mushrooms because, simply put, they will hurt you. Just like in the ice cavern, it would actually freeze you unless you are equipped with the proper gear. Now, this is a good inspiration from Terraria, where we could see a new ore known as shroomite, which could offer all sorts of different environmental benefits. Of course, let me know what you think of all of these ores down in the comments below and how you would introduce them into the game. I have done videos before about ores, so I don't really want to go into too much detail for this video. All I really want to do is just show you how amazing new biomes can make the cave systems. Just by the visual changes alone, it's already so much more interesting. Not to mention, poisonous mushrooms could introduce new fungal planks, which may or may not be something coming to Realm Origins, but hey, you didn't hear it from me. That's a spoiler. Ow! Okay, well that didn't feel good. That is pretty much it for all of these biomes. There are various different biomes that could exist in the cave system. These have just been 6 examples, but of course, let me know what you think of all of them. Until then, I'm gonna get out because this cave hurts. That's gonna do it for today's video. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a thumbs up and consider subscribing and turning on notifications so that you're alerted whenever I next upload a video. I hope you're enjoying A Week in the Caves. If you missed it, make sure to check out the first episode that I uploaded Monday where we covered new features for the caves. That being said, my name has been System Z. You guys have been awesome, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.